Coming live from Queensland, Australia is our guest this morning. Welcome to this very special edition of the KJ Masterclass Live, the show which ensures that you profit from your time spent here with experts, either through the industry insights, information, or simply learning from them. And today we have Braith Bamkin, Executive Director, BNI Melbourne Central, online business educator, engaging public speaker, author of Breathe Easy. He's a laughter yoga facilitator, and in a nutshell, he's a business booster. Welcome to the show, Braith.
Thanks, Ajay. What a fabulous welcome. What a wonderful way to be brought onto your show. I've actually been really looking forward to this because I've watched your show and you are a lot of fun. And I like fun.
Absolutely. And also a lot of fun is making money, and people want to make their businesses, their lives better in terms of, building a brand for themselves. So we'll be talking about referral marketing, how to make yourself highly referable in business. And that is what we'll be talking about this morning. For you, it's afternoon there out there in Queensland. So to understand from you, Braith, is that what does, being referable mean for people? Mainly we'll focus around businesses, but also in terms of personal life, how does it help there?
Yeah, sure. Well, look, the first thing I want to explain to people is there's a difference between leads and referrals. And if you understand that, you're on a really good basis. So a referral requires three people. A lead is basically me just saying, Ajay, call my friend, he needs a new whatever. You call him, he doesn't know that you're going to call. You call him, it's a cold call. It's not comfortable. You're having to sell yourself. A referral is me saying to my friend, you have a problem. My friend Ajay can fix your problem. I would like to introduce you to him. And my friend says, yes, I would like that introduction. So when you call my friend goes, I've been waiting for your call and I know that you can help my problem. Let's go. And so you're solving that person's problem. And the only way that that happens is if you think about that, that's a triangle. So I'm here, you're here, the person that's got the problems here. What's happening is we have trust. My friend and I have trust. You and I have trust. And then across the bottom, when I introduce you, there's a transference of trust. And that is the cornerstone to success in referrals, is when you are trustworthy and people are willing to open up their network, their friends, their family, their business colleagues, and introduce you if they have trust that you're going to make them look good and solve their friends' problems. That's really the basis of referrals. It's simple, but people don't think that through often.
Right, Braith. So how does one create trust? In personal life, we can understand you be nice to people, you continuously create a pattern of trust, and so people will trust you. But for businesses, how does it work? And when we talk about referable in business, does it mean about the business as a whole, about the owner, about your company's representative? Because there are so many dynamics involved in running a business. So with all these dynamics involved, and even one small thing that goes wrong, then you are not referable at all. So how does it work? How can a business owner, especially small business owner who does not have those full capacities of a big company, how can they make themselves referable?
Well, the first thing is it takes time. You can't expect to have trust and referrals overnight because you need to invest. If you think about it, it's kind of like having a bank account. You put a little bit in over time, little bit by little bit by little bit, and eventually the balance builds up, right? And then over time, you can actually take some of that money out because you've got interest. And a relationship, a business relationship, is exactly the same. If you invest in people around you and you do things that build up trust, over time, you can start withdrawing from that relationship. So it's a sum total of lots and lots and lots of little things over time that build up your credibility with other people. And the one thing that they want to know is that you are going to say what you are going to do, and you do that. So you've actually got to follow through on things that you commit to. So sadly, in this world, people commit to things, but they often don't follow through. And I'm sure you and your audience know that when somebody does that to you, instantly you go, I don't want to work with this person, or there's something not quite right about this person. So it's all the little things like showing up on time, doing what you say you're going to do. If I'm going to follow up with an email, I follow up with that email. All the little things that we know we should do, but so often we forget to do. So it's been incredible. And the other thing that I would say is it's not something you can do en masse. You know, you can be a trustworthy, incredible person in general, but you really want to invest your time with people that you know are interested in building a relationship with you. So not everyone is the right person to build a relationship with. So be very specific with who you want to do business with and invest time there. And over time, you can start expanding that network to have a lot of people that trust you. And if they know you, they will trust you. So you've got to give of yourself. And that's the key word, give. You have to give before you can expect to get back. So I always say to people, AJ, give until you feel you cannot give anymore, and then give some more again. And that is what people will go, this person's the real deal. I want to help them. It's the law of reciprocity. It's in B&I, we call it giver's game, but the law of reciprocity, we all know it. When somebody does something nice for us, we kind of want to do something nice for them. And the cumulative effect over time of doing that is people cannot help but want to do something good for you.
Right, Braith. So talking of trust, and a lot of times, I see businesses, individuals, everywhere they talk about, let's create trust first. And then then you put your product in front of them, then try and make that sale. So I wanted to understand is trust a tradable commodity? You create trust, and then uh, you fleece that person. How does it work? How
Trust
does this
is
trust? Yes, how
trust
does
is
this
trust is
trust
gone.
it works? And how does it work in a business? Like it because we know that the business wants to sell, and a businessman always has that in the back of his mind. Businessman, salesperson, as a customer, what is the type of trust I am looking for? Is it that tradable trust, or is it the intrinsic trust in the company and its product today, tomorrow, and beyond? How does that work? How can businesses take care of this aspect in terms of creating the real trust as well as taking care of today's sales needs? Help us understand this. Because a lot of these things are happening. Your customers in today's time, they are young customers, generation Z, Y, and all these people. So a lot of times you are coming in front of them either in terms of advertisements, a lot of advertisements on the internet, a lot of times how you are getting perceived on the social media. Help us understand this part for the audience.
Beautiful. I like, well thought through. Great question. Very deep. Not a lot of people think that through, and I love that you've asked that. I think for businesses to create trust, you have to be very clear about your vision of where you're taking your business, the mission that you're doing to get there. So vision is a strategic document or a strategic plan of where you want to go into the future. The mission is the tactics that you're actually deploying today to get you there. And then you've got a set of core values that align with that really help you make decisions about how your business operates. And that enables you to make really easy decisions, because you know if a decision comes to you and it's not in line with your core values and it's not on mission, then you don't take that pathway. And customers love to go on the journey with people whose companies they share the vision. They trust that the mission is in line with their vision, and that their core values align with their own core values. So I always say be very clear about what your vision is in your business, and tell people what you stand for. Make it really clear on your website. Make all of your social media align with that. So you've got to be very aligned in everything that you do with your vision, mission, and values, and communicate it regularly, because people want to share your journey if their businesses or their life aligns with yours. And here's the thing, there is a customer for every product or service out there. You just have to find your tribe. And when your tribe finds you and you're all in alignment, you have a high degree of trust there already. So as an individual, trust is very easy to break, It's hard to create, but very easy to break. But if you've done all the things in your business to prove that you align to your vision and on your mission, then as an individual, if you live those values and you're delivering on those all the time, then your customers will feel this degree of credibility because they'll see that you're in alignment. And people like that companies and businesses and individuals align up with what's important to them.
Right, Braith. So let's look at the market part of this whole business of reference. And comes the word called affiliate marketing. And even if it is not a formal affiliate relationship with a company or its products, a lot of people know that people who are referring people or businesses to you may get a cut or a commission into that. So as a customer, how do I make sure that the referral is correct and that it is not only induced by some benefits for the person who is referring, but actually the reference is correct? And how do businesses also deal with this part, and especially relationships where a friend talks about that, okay, this guy is good or this company is good, and then you can deal with them, and later on what is his or her responsibility? Technically nothing, but you also know they might be getting that cut or commission. So how do you balance these things in this present time if you are a business and if you are a customer? How does it work from both ways when you can actually distill this whole paraphernalia of affiliate marketing with trust and come out with something genuine that, okay, this is something good advice, I can follow that?
Great question again. First thing is you've got to make sure that your values and the people that you've aligned with, affiliated with, are in alignment. Because if they're not in alignment, your customers, the people that you're referring, they will see that you're not in alignment and they'll work out that things aren't in flow. The other thing that you've got to be very clear about is that the people that you're referring can solve the people that you trust's problems. Because all a referral is solving my problem. I have a problem, I need a product or service, please refer me to somebody that can solve my problem. And we love it because it saves us time, right? We don't have to do a lot of research. You refer me somebody that you trust and you go, this is somebody that you can work with. I go, great, you've saved me a whole lot of research time. If I'm looking for a new insurance, I don't want to spend my life looking for that. But if your values and the company's values that you're referring don't align, the customer will pick up on that and they will feel uncomfortable. So if everyone is in alignment and you have a lot of trust with the people you're referring, the whole value chain continues down the line and people feel comfortable with that. And they see you as a person that is helping them solve their problems and they appreciate it.
Right. And now let's move into another form of referral, that is the influencer referral. People or companies, they keep on tying with influencers. And in some cases, it has led to even court cases in the US. A lot of people are having their own ideas about, how, and especially, fin influencers. And there is a lot of talk, even in India, and government is working on regulations on this, that, people are selling products without having much knowledge themselves, or maybe having some deal without disclosing it fully. So in that sort of a context, what are the risks for a company in going with any sort of an influencer? How do they make sure that their brand does not get negatively impacted by any wrong sort of a tie-up? And secondly, from the influencer point of view, is that how should they look at companies? Because a lot of companies are fly-by-night operators. Somebody in a very dubious sort of a product which is not very clear, they just come out, give a lucrative deal to an influencer. And a lot of people are not from young people, they are not from that that sort of a background. For them, they think, okay, this is okay. They don't have anything hidden or wrong. They may not be aware of the pitfalls or the details about it. So how do you balance out? And I, again, as a customer, ensure that I don't fall prey to any of this. A lot of people have lost money this way from the general public. How do you make sure from all aspects of this sort of networking, trust, or referral marketing, whatever you want to say, help us understand to not fall into this pit?
Well, the beauty of things today, mate, is that everything is available for research on the internet. The internet has been amazing for us. It gives us transparency, and you want to make sure that the people you're aligning with are transparent about what they are doing. So transparency is key, because transparency is the cornerstone of trust, right? So if I'm transparent about what I'm doing, I'm not hiding anything, so you can trust me, right? The second thing that I would do is I would make sure, if I was looking to work with an influencer, that their target market is fully aligned to my target market. So if they're speaking to the same people and solving the same problems as your clients are facing, then you're already ahead of the game. Too often we think, oh, great, an influencer, let's use this person because they're famous. But they might not speak to your people. They might not be the right people to influence your people. They mightn't have that network. The other thing that I would be doing is I would spend a lot of time really researching the people that I align with, and make sure that we have a really clear agreement and very clear brand guidelines. So today everyone's talking about brand voice. So brand voice is the big term we use in marketing these days, where not only it's your logo, your colors, but the language that you use to speak to your clients. So that's really about creating a really clear way of connecting with the people that you want to do business with. So make sure that those people are aligned to your brand voice, because if they're not, people will smell that and it won't work. And, we've seen many cases. You've talked about some of the cases in the US, the very well-known cases. Those people weren't aligned. They simply were not aligned. They hadn't done their research properly. One person expected something, the other person expected something. They were completely different because they weren't aligned and they didn't communicate beforehand. And as a result, they didn't get the result they want. And customers were unhappy, right? So we don't want unhappy customers. So it doesn't take a lot these days to really work out whether their voice is the same as our voice, because as I said, there is a market for everyone. And so long as you're clear about who your target market is and it's the same as theirs, then you're already ahead of the curve.
Wonderful. I asked you several questions on this particular aspect of trust and marketing and reference and all that, and you answered them very well, Braith. Because everybody may not be able to answer them. It is such a vast market, and the world is evolving and trying to understand this part of affiliate marketing or tie-ups or deals. Even businesses tie up with other businesses. Then that tie-up is over, and then they tie up with someone else. Till that time, they are their best friends and the best product that is happening at that. But let's leave it at that. Let's move on to the consultants and independent freelancers and all those people, coach and all. A lot of them are very good in what they do. And they try different aspects of reaching their customers and are not able to do that. And they also try to gather, and a lot of reference is important in their kind of business, and that is where the reviews are important, where it is the time of video reviews and testimonials and all that. But sometimes for even the good consultants or coaches, things don't get working. Why is it so? Is it that they are doing something wrong? Is it that they are not being pushy about it, or they don't know how to hustle and get the right testimonials for themselves? What would you suggest how they can actually get the real good results for the real good work they are doing?
Yeah, fantastic. You are great at asking questions. I love the questions that you ask. This is a really easy one because I see this a lot. And where I see coaches and consultants often fall down is that they're not clear about who they're serving. So they're not clear about their target market. They want to be everything to everyone. So it's spray and pray, we say in Australia, spray and pray. I don't know if you know that term in India, but spray and pray, where, so you just hope that somebody's going to buy your product. But the more niche you are with your target market, the easier it is for you to connect with those people. So a lot of people, particularly coaches, they're afraid to get that specific because they think that they're going to miss out on everybody else. But the more specific you get, the easier it is for you to connect to your potential target market and your potential client. But what I would also say is that understand your customer's buying cycle. So we all have a buying cycle. So there is a point at which we are on our buying cycle. We make a decision to buy a product or service. And it's the same with a coach or a consultant. There is something going on in our client's life where they choose, I now need to work with a business coach. What you need to understand is where are your clients having that pain point and what's happening in their life just before that pain point. So for example, it could be a business owner who is wanting to grow their business, but is stuck. Now, just one of the things that you might want to build relationships with are accountants, because often people go to their accountants beforehand and say, hey, look, I'm having a trouble growing my business. So an accountant would be a great referral partner because they're seeing people prior to them making a decision to buy a coach or a consultant, and they can refer you to your potential client. It could also be financial people, mortgage brokers, financiers. It could be real estate agents. It can be suppliers of product. So understand where your target market is playing and who they are talking to just before they know they need they don't even need to know they need your product yet, but they need to know that they need something different, and they'll be talking to somebody about that prior to them saying, hey, I need a coach. So that's where you play. So they become referral partners. So they're the people who will happily refer their clients to you, because ultimately what you're saying is, I can help your client resolve a problem, which makes them look good and their customers happy.
Right, Braith. There is so much to learn from you, Braith, and this is just one small episode. So, in terms of knowing more about you, and before we come to the connection contact part of it, is that you have written a book called Breathe Easy. Tell us about that. And
Yes,
what does it contain? Yes, absolutely, absolutely. Can you hold it better for our audience, please? Let me have a look. Yes.
There you go.
Yes, this is better. Yeah. Wonderful. Wonderful. Tell us about this book, so that people can learn more about referral marketing and anything else that can help them in their businesses.
Well, that's actually not about referral marketing. I'm telling you, I wrote that book. And in fact, the biggest sales I've had of that book have been in India, which is really interesting because I have a lot of friends and colleagues in India. But many years ago, I had a crisis in my business, and I was traveling overseas, and I got a Bell's palsy, which is a facial paralysis. And it made me realize that the way I was conducting business was not working for me. And I came back to Australia, and part of my therapy was to do laughter yoga. And I don't know if you've done laughter yoga. It comes out of India with Dr. Madame Kataria. Amazing man. If you ever get to meet him, he is a fabulous guy. And so I learned how to do that, and I loved it so much. I actually became a laughter yoga instructor. And I also then learned how to work with breath, because laughter yoga is really an extension of breath work. So I became a certified breath consultant, and people started seeing this amazing change in me. And my friends and my business colleagues were saying, you really are different and your business is better. Your business is growing. What have you done? And I started to explain to people what I did. And the sort of person I am, I want to help people all the time. And it started becoming a job, helping people with how they could use this technique to calm themselves in their business and create more space in their life. So I decided, rather than become a job, I'll write a book. So I wrote a book to share with everyone. So it really is written from the sense of a business person who is looking for really easy ways to create calm and space in their life to be effective business owners. And look, it changed my life. and I love to help people with that knowledge. And it's really simple book to read. It gives really simple tips, and people who have read it tell me they love it and they use the simple techniques. And I know it's changed my life. My business has exploded since I used this in my life, and I'm very proud of the fact that I'm able to share that with the world. And I've seen what it takes to be a successful business person myself and from people around me, and I just love to help people.
Wonderful, wonderful. This is such an important book, Braith, because life is not always about business, but it's also about enjoying the business and enjoying life. And for that, you need to breathe easy, take a look at life much more closely, but in a humane manner, in a grateful manner. And that is where, the good businesses try to do it for themselves with their vision as well as with their employees. And that is where, it is always not about pushing products, pushing services everywhere. They need to breathe easy and let the customers decide what is good for them. So,
And you know what? If you're calm in yourself and you're happy, people sense that, and they want to do business with you, and they want to hang around you, and they want to build trust with you. It's a really great way of being present and become more referable if you're happier and you're lighter. People feel the vibe. I can tell people feel your vibe. They love being around you. I love your podcast. That's, when people want to be around you.
Absolutely. And that is what makes you most referable, either in personal life or in any business. So, Braith, how can people learn more about you? How can businesses, consultants, coaches, whoever finds your services useful can be in connect with you? How do they do that?
Well, thank you for asking. I have a website, braithbamkin.com, and people can jump on there. I have a lot of free stuff on there. I love to share my knowledge with people. I have a course coming up next month, actually on vision, mission, and value. So we were talking about that before. That is a coincidence. You didn't know. I hadn't shared that with you before. But that's really to help people get clear on their vision, mission, and values. And I have a free course on how to make yourself more referable. I love this course because if you've never done any work on how to become referable, it's a really simple 1 hour, a little bit longer than 1 hour course that will give you all the steps you need to make yourself referable and give you some documents that will help you to really become a lot more credible. So if you don't know where to start, that is a really great free course. And I love people to get some value out of that. And there's lots of other free stuff on there. So yeah, jump onto my website. Follow me on the socials, connect with me.
Wonderful. So for a moment, let's leave aside businesses, whatever that may be. But in your case, I can certainly tell you the amount of knowledge that you have shared in my episode today. You have certainly become a very, very referable person for me. And so this is not going to be the only episode. I see several more coming up with you. With this, wow, it's a wrap on this very special edition of the KJ Masterclass Live. Thank you so much indeed for joining us.
Thank you.